What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Monday Light's Late Night Agenda. I'm your host, Craig. You're all very welcome along to the show. Let me start off by saying, oh, Andy Lonergan, El Savior. For those of you that don't know, Liverpool are going to sign, or maybe have already signed, Andy Lonergan on a deal believed to be around 1 year to come in as backup to Adrian, who has now come in as backup to Alisson, who's picked up an injury, as we all know. Looks like he's going to be out for a few weeks, according to what Jurgen Klopp has said. No doubt, ladies and gentlemen, we will cover that in tonight's stream, along with much more. I hope you're all keeping well. As always, I hope life is treating you all well. I hope the birds are singing, the sun is shining. It's not great here in Ireland. I'm not going to lie, ladies and gents. The weather is not great lately. How are we? Mic is a tad loud. How dare you, sir? My mic is the same as it is every week. I'm talking to Mr. Crosby there, by the way. It's probably because I have it a little bit close to me. A little bit close to me. Maybe just turn down your volume, Connor. Maybe the blame should be put on you here, Mr. Crosby. Anyway, look, no, the mic's the same level it always is, but I will. There, I've lowered it down a little bit, Connor. And I'll move my fat ass away from the microphone as well. Hope you're all keeping well anyway. Who have we got in tonight? Warrior of Actions is in. Max Preston is in. Fallen Marine is in. You got the third kit for your birthday, mate. Sweet. Nice one. Is it nice? Do you like it in person? Because my little dude has it, as I said, but it's a Turkish special. So I want to know if you like it in person. I still haven't seen it. I haven't gone into a sports shop and seen the third kit in person yet. So I'm going to take your word for it, mate. I hope you're enjoying it. And happy birthday to you, most importantly. Ibrahim Sheriff said, love you, Craig, and sorry for when I criticise Hendo. It's all good, pal. It's all good. We all have our off days. It's peaking slightly. It's perfect now. Thank you very much. I've moved away from the microphone, Mr. Crosby. Right, ladies and gents, as you can see, we're all set up to have a nice little conversation around Footy Index tonight, but the majority of tonight's show will be a preview for the Red Super Cup game against Chelsea on Wednesday night in Istanbul. A trophy that matters. Don't let anybody kid you. To me, this matters as well. This is a trophy that will go on the honours board. Winning the Super Cup, for me, it's something that we should be looking to do. I think, and I hope that we go strong for the game as well. Shanzo said, I've got the third kit as well. It's nice. Nice one. Yeah, it seems that anybody that gets the kit really does like it. And I'm liking that. It kind of looks a bit like an old blouse to me, or something from the pictures, but probably is one of those that you have to see in person. Now, ladies and gents, as I said, I hope life's treating you all well. We did tell you that we're going to have a little chat around Football Index, something that I've been using for over a year now, and a product that I really like. So it's a product that when they approached us, we said, hey, let's bring this to everybody. I'm going to spend 5 minutes now just talking to you guys through the do's and don'ts, the ups and downs, the ins and outs. What is Football Index? Football Index, ladies and gentlemen, is a stock market site and app where traders take a position on the future success of footballers with real money stakes. So the long and short of this basically is you place a bet, which they call a share, in exchange for a chance to win a daily payout, which they call a dividend, much like when you're, paying out in real stocks. It's a UK licensed and regulated fixed odds gaming product, and this is only available to our subscribers in the UK and Ireland. I should state that. There are over 3,000 footballers currently listed on the platform, and they're split into two lists, ladies and gents. The top 200, or the sexy list as I like to call it, which is a list of the top 200 prize footballers. All these footballers are eligible for both media dividends, which is MD, and match day dividends, MDD. And then the second option is squad players, which is a list of the remaining footballers. Now, if you're like me, the first question you're going to ask is, look, Craig, great, love the spiel, all this nonsense. How do I make motherfucking money off this? And I know, because that's the first thing that I looked at as well. You've got two opportunities to make money, ladies and gents, when you're looking at Footy Index. By buying a portfolio of footballers, you think that other traders will buy an increase in value, enabling you to cash out your bets for a profit, which is what I do. That's what I've done. I've looked at this as a long-term investment. The money that I've put into it, I've bought my shares and players in my portfolio, and I'm holding on to that motherfucker for dear life, and I'm just watching that value go up and up. Now, of course, value can go down. You can lose money. But for me, I like to think I've been quite clever about this, and it's gone up a little bit. It's nice. It's always nice when you make a few quid. By buying a portfolio of footballers you think will earn you dividends over a period through media dividends or match day dividends. Now, I should point out you should check out the full game rule section of the site to get more information on media dividends and match day dividends. Importantly though, ladies and gentlemen, it's about having some fun when you're using it. Now, it is a gambling product. I've said that from the start. You've got to be gambling aware, and we'll go through that in more detail. But if you're like me, you're always checking it. And I had it open earlier on. I'm going to have a little look at it now just to see. I was disgusted. I'm not going to lie. The biggest increase has been Slabhead. And I wasn't happy about this. Harry Maguire's price has gone up 21p over the past couple of days. So if you've invested in Maguire, boy, I'm looking at you here. Perhaps it's something you've done. I know you're not a fan because of the Nottingham Forest link, but I get that. But it disgusts me to see Harry Maguire gone up in such value. But he has gone up 21p. Second on the list is João Felix, who's gone up as well. And got to admit, I have invested a few quid in João Felix before the move to Atletico, so I'll get in there nice and early. But look, ladies and gents, as I said, during the course of the season, myself and Connor we're going to compare portfolios. We're going to have a little bit of a head-to-head to see who can make more money from this stuff. And there is a few important things I want to draw your attention to as well, ladies and gents. Reasons why perhaps signing up the Football Index via our link is what's we hope you'll do, and this is why. Football Index have offered us a £1,000 risk-free offer for subscribers. What that means is as soon as you create an account and make your first deposit, this offer becomes active. All deposits made in the first month are covered by this fantastic money-back guarantee, and if you make a loss in that first month, simply email Football Index and they'll refund any losses up to 1,000 quid. Yep, you heard me right. Any losses up to 1,000 quid they'll cover. I'm going to put the link in now for you guys to sign up with if you want to do that, and it's also in the description below. If you're somebody that doesn't want to come in, sign up a little bit later on. Oh, no, wouldn't go in for me. 1 second. There you go. No, I don't know what's going on here, but the link isn't going in. The link's in the description below anyway, ladies and gents. If you use the code AA as well, that gets you something else that we're going to talk about now. You get a 10% buy bonus, meaning you'll get a 10% bonus on the players that you buy in the first month up to a maximum bonus of 50 quid. That bonus goes straight into your balance and you can use it however the hell you like. Now, one of the reasons that I want you guys to use the link is we've always been transparent when we started the channel about anything that will make the channel money, and this is something that will make us money. So that's why we're doing it. We're going to be blatantly honest about that. This is what will help us keep content free. And of course, we're not going to lie to you guys. This will make the channel a little bit of money, which is why we want you guys to use the link that we put in the description below. And I'm trying to put into the chat, but for some reason it just won't work. I think maybe it's because Crosby's logged in. I'm not sure, but I'll put that link in there soon. Or maybe Mr. Crosby, if he's watching, you can put the link in for me, sir. Right, what else have we got? Most importantly, as I said from the very start with all this, folks, we strongly advise anyone taking part in any form of gambling to gamble responsibly, and further details of how to do this are always available at begambleaware.org. And most importantly, like anything else when it comes to gambling, if the fun stops, stop. And I mean that. If the fun stops, stop. It's very important that I make that clear. This, like any other product, is a gambling product. You can win and lose money, and it's important that you remember begambleaware.org, and when the fun stops, stop. I'll put the link into the description below as well. If you have any questions or anything you want me to go through again, I know this was a bit of a quick hit for you guys. Please feel free to let me know. Remember, if you're signing up, use the code AA. Really straightforward. Use that code AA. You'll get that 10% deposit bonus. And again, thank you to Football Index for looking after us with that guarantee of a loss up to 1,000 quid in your first month, and that will be paid back in cash as well. Yeah, so the link is in the description. As Connor said, it won't post for some reason for us at the minute. It was when we were trying earlier on, but it is in the description below. Sign up using the code AA. Boom, and we'll go from there. Look, ladies and gents, let's move towards the real stuff. We'll get back to Footy Index as well, and we'll start comparing portfolios. And if you do try it, let us know. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know if you like. They're always looking for feedback as well. So anything you want me to go through again, please let me know. Really quickly, £1,000 or £1,000 or €1,000 risk-free offer for our subscribers. Putting in the code AA means you'll get a 10% bonus, up to £50 maximum. And as always, be gamble aware. That's all I can really say in it, ladies and gents. We'll go through it in more detail as the season progresses. For now, let's get to the preview of the Reds game. So let me just change this. There we go. Boom. As you can see, my prediction straight in there. I'm going for the Reds to win 3-1. What's the minimum you can bet with, Craig Adams? I believe £10, mate, is the minimum investment. But again, this is only open to residents of the UK and Ireland over the age of 18, and it is a gambling product. Want to make that very, very clear. Now, as you can see, predictions, Super Cup. We'll move back to Footy Index again in the future. Let me just click on something here, and we will go through it in more detail. Sorry, my screen was flashing. I had to click on a few things. I sometimes wish you guys could see what I have open in front of me when I'm doing this. Can you buy championship players, Craig asked. Buy? Yes, mate, you can buy. I think, as I said, there's over 3,000 professional footballers listed on Football Index. You've got the top 200, which the sexy footballers, the ones that are going up in value the most, the ones that have been traded the most. They're available to you, but as I said, there are 3,000 footballers currently listed on Football Index, and I often wonder about the work that goes into it from their end as well, keeping it all up to date. But do check out the terms and conditions, do check out the rules, and it will keep you guys updated what we believe will be smart investments as well going forward, and where myself and Connor are putting our money. Right, anyway. And I absolutely understand as well that this won't be something that some people will like us doing, or some people will like us doing, but we've been honest from day one, ladies and gentlemen. If there ever something is brought to us that we think is beneficial or think will work for the channel, we've turned down money from lots of other companies as well. But Football Index, as I said, is a product that I love. It's a product that I've used for over a year now, and I think you guys will like it too. So if gambling isn't your thing, I get it. I understand it, and no hard feelings. It's not something I'm going to ram down your throats. It's a small segment we're going to do every now and again of what we believe is a very, very good product. So look, let's park that up. Let's get to the Super Cup. 3-1. 3-1 is what Craig's gone for here. Sorry, got to close Football Index here because I'm getting distracted by all the flashing images and the price of Harry Maguire going up right in front of my eyes. Doesn't sit well with me. I don't like old Slabhead being top of that list. Okay. I also want to take a second, we received something earlier on, and it's not very often I read out this type of stuff, but somebody sent Connor a message on WhatsApp, and he basically said, look, I was blocked from the channel, any chance you could unblock me? And Connor's had a really busy day. I won't tell you what he was up to, but he was a really busy day, so Connor didn't get a chance to reply to this message. Second message comes then a few hours later, basically threatening us. So let me just take a second here to have a little conversation with Andreas Giorgio, or Andy G_LFC, who basically said, unblock me, you've ignored me, I'm going to go and take my 40 subscribers that I brought over with me. Andreas, mate, feel free, fuck off, you're not getting unblocked, your attitude stinks, pal. Come in and threaten us with your poxy 40 subscribers that you're going to take away. Bye 40 subscribers. I'm watching. I'm waiting for it to go down, pal. Take your 40 subscribers. Stick them up your arse. You are not the type of person we want on this channel. And we don't respond well to threats, Andrea. So, fuck you. Fuck your 40 subscribers, pal. Stick them up your hole. And you will not be getting unblocked. And if you make another one, we're going to keep blocking your ass. So, fuck you and your 40 subscribers, pal. Don't threaten us. Not the way we work. Now, let's get back to the game. How are we, everybody? Back to the normal people. Back to the people that aren't just sending us random threatening messages. If a Chelsea fan of my team would have kept Reece, James, Zuma, Christensen, Kante, Jorginho, Willian, Mason Mount, Pulisic and Abraham, said Anthony Cronin. Thought you don't care about money. Yes, Lewis, we don't care about money, mate, which is why we've turned down many opportunities that would have made us a lot more money. But at the same time, mate, we do have to keep the channel running. And it isn't free. And all the stuff that we do, the giveaways that we do. For instance, let's just look at the Blood Husky stuff that we do, mate. That 10% discount code that we gave to you guys. That's not going to make us a penny. Any of those type of deals that we do don't make us money usually. This one, we've been really obvious and upfront. And if it's not for you, Lewis, understand it, mate. No hard feelings. Feel free to move on. But the channel is free. It's always going to be free, mate. And like anything else, we've got to keep the lights on. The computers don't pay for themselves. The electricity doesn't pay for itself. All the other bits and pieces that we do don't pay for themselves, buddy. So we do have to do a little bit to keep the channel going. And if it's not for you, completely understand it. But keeping, as Connor has said to you already, mate, keeping the content 100% free is what's vital to us. And it's something that we work really hard to do. And we will never go behind the paywall. We've made that promise from day one. We've even closed down the likes of Patreon, mate, because we didn't think it was the right thing to do. So this is a product that I like. And I will only ever talk about or try and pitch products that I like. And I really like Football Index because sometimes, I've spoken about it before, I used to stick a fiver all the time on Van Dijk to score a header. Regular viewers will know that. And I stopped doing it. Because I started investing in Football Index instead. And to be quite honest about it, it's fun because if you place a fiver on Van Dijk to score, as an example, and he doesn't score, end of the match, bet's over. But with Football Index, you get to watch your stock grow, and of course it can lose value as well. But I've had great fun, and I've made modest profits, but profits nonetheless, and I've enjoyed it, and I enjoy checking in on a daily basis. So again, lots of love to Football Index. Use the code AA to sign up, and check in the description below for the link that will help us keep the channel going and make us some money. I'm not going to lie, I could come on here, mate, and tell you a pack of lies and say to you, oh, this is a great product, sign up with this link. Yes, we'll make money. If you deposit and you sign up, we'll make money. Is that alright? I'm going to be honest about it. Transparency has been our thing from day one on here. If it's not for you, Lewis, as I said, mate, I've taken the time to really go into this in detail with you, Lewis, and try and explain it, because transparency is important to us. So if anyone has any questions, we're always here to answer them, and we'll always do our best. Anyway, let's go. We're going to win the Super Cup, said Craig West. And yes, look, as you can see from my prediction, I've gone 3-1 to the Reds. I need to change my notes open here on stream as well. There you go. 3-1 to the Reds. It was really difficult to pick a starting 11 for this game, ladies and gents. Really difficult. You can see what I've gone with on the screen there beside me. I'm going to go through it in more detail as well. Try and give you a justification, if that's the right word, of why I've come to that 11. So obviously Adrian is going to play in goal, I'm assuming. I don't think Andy Lonergan is going to be dropped in for the Super Cup. When it came to the back four, it was only really a question of, will I go with Joe Gomez or will I go with Joel Matip? It's a tough one. I went with Matip, to be fair, for this one, because I think Gomez needs to be rested ahead of the game against Southampton at the weekend. So I've gone for Trent, Van Dijk, Matip, and of course Andy Robertson at left back. The midfield was the real headache. This is the one where I went back and forth, and I think I sent Connor a couple of different team choices to make this image. In the end, looking ahead to the game against Southampton, the midfield that I've guessed with, and the midfield that I'd like to see, is Fabinho, James Milner, and Naby Keita. And then Origi or Mane. Origi or Mane. I kept going back and forth. Origi or Mane. Origi or Mane. In the end, I came to the conclusion that I don't know if Sadio's ready to start. I don't know if that travelling will be beneficial and be ready to start. So I've gone again for resting Sadio ahead of the game against Southampton on Saturday. So I've gone with Divock Origi up front, knowing that Sadio Mane will be on the bench if we need him. So again, just to quickly run through my team: Adrian, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Joel Matip, Andy Robertson. Midfielder Fabinho, Milner, Keita, and then Origi, Firmino and Salah up front. Love to know your thoughts. Love to know your 11, your predictions, and everything else. Sorry, I'm a little bit flustered. A couple of things happened just before we started the stream. As I said, I spent all day getting ready, getting the Football Index stuff ready. Then we get that pretty horrible message on Instagram from Georgius, threatening the channel basically, which, as I said, he can go fuck himself. And then come on, and I wanted to be open and transparent about everything, so I had to take time then obviously to reply to our friend who had issues with us doing the Football Index stuff, and that's okay. I want to take the time to address those issues. Now, going ahead of the Manx of major trophies would be so sweet, said Liverpool 6 times. It would, mate. It would be very fucking sweet indeed. I'm not going to lie about it. MUFC Gamer, who must be pretty happy with life at the minute, pal, said Chelsea midfield was dog shit yesterday. They missed Kante big time. You need to expose this in the Super Cup. I wonder if he'll start though, mate, and I wonder if Pulisic will start. Miles Harvey writes, hello mate, hope you're having a nice day. Arsenal fan here. I think I agree with your prediction. Thank you, mate. Always nice to get an opposition fan agreeing with me on something. But yeah, 3-1 it's a difficult game to gauge, because I don't know how seriously or how much Frank Lampard is going to put into this game from a Chelsea perspective. I mean, he's already got to be looking at the league and thinking can't afford anything but 3 points in their next game. But at the same time, winning himself a trophy at the start of his managerial career at Chelsea, I mean, would be rather nice. And this is a trophy. Don't let anybody fool you. I'm taking this very, very seriously. Is that a mic? Lower it a little. It is a mic. Whoop. There you go. I've lowered it a little just for you. I hope that's okay, Khalil. I used to not have it in shot. I used to have it above my head, but I found I got a much crisper, cleaner audio when I put it in front of me. Curtis Dalton said, I'm very optimistic about Wednesday, Craig. No less than 3 goals for us. What's your thoughts? Yeah, 3. As I said, yeah, I think 3 sounds about right, mate. If we go strong and Chelsea put in the type of attitude that they did when they went down against United, they could capitulate. But at the same time, Chelsea are a good team. I mean, their performance at United probably didn't deserve a 4-0 defeat. They absolutely capitulated when they went 2 and 3 down, but when it was 0-0, even at 1-0, Chelsea created chances and they looked dangerous at times, and the crossbar, the post, some saves and some decent defending made sure United kept their clean sheet. Count Andre said, blocking the shirt, lol. Oh, I don't know what that means, mate. Is Football Index like fantasy with money earned instead of points, said Evan. It's a stock market for football players, basically, Evan, and it's a real money game, as I said, for 18 plus. You basically buy shares in footballers, and the value of those shares can go up and down. You create a portfolio. As I said, by using the code AA, you get that deposit bonus as well, or you get your buy bonus, 10% of your first buys in your first month. And also you get a guaranteed protection of your losses up to £1,000 or €1,000 in your first month. Again though, do want to be really clear about this. If anybody does have any questions, our emails are always open, anfieldagenda@outlook.com. Feel free to email us. We want to help everybody out. We want to make everything as clear and transparent. And also check out the rules on the site as well. footballindex.com. Go and check them out. Okay, what else we got? How many times? Asked Jack. Why, Jack, I believe it's 6 times, my friend. I believe it is 6. 6 are the best. If we win, do we go above United in the major trophy list? Yes, I believe we do. Which is why it's important as well. I mean, always getting one over on the Manx is important. I like getting one over on the Manx. Right, so starting 11s, what do you guys think? Who are you expecting to start? I was going to say tomorrow. I keep forgetting it's Wednesday. Background and graphics look smart today. Thank you. It's our sexy European one, Liam. We have a nice little Champions League one. And Connor said to me tonight, you're going to use a regular background? I was like, nah, mate, you got to use the Champions League background because it's a Super Cup. Prez Mane said, I'm going for Origi, Mane, Salah for pace and do what Man United did and catch up with them on the counter-attack. Yeah, I think you're right, mate. Origi, Mane, Salah. It's difficult not to go and drop Origi. So you're dropping Firmino. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted there for a second. You're dropping Firmino. Interesting. With his work rate and everything that he brings. I don't know about that. At the same time, I'm also fucking petrified at the thoughts of playing Mane and him potentially picking up an injury, being rushed back too soon. I know he played 10 minutes or so of the game against Norwich on Friday, but I was having a chat with Brian last night about the Super Cup and about the travelling over and about my team selection. And I was saying to him that the big quandary for me was around Sadio Mane. After what happened with Alisson, and I'm not saying Alisson was rushed back too quickly because who might say that? The sports science team will know their stuff, but I wonder if that played any part in his injury, or if it was just bad luck. So, is it worth rolling the dice on the potentially not ready to go Sadio Mane? For me, no, which is why I would have went with Origi, Salah and Firmino as my front three. You've gone for Origi, Mane and Salah, but I'd be really interested, Press, to know why you're dropping Bobby for this game, or resting Bobby, I should say. How come I haven't gone with Hendo, said Joshua. Just to freshen things up a little bit, mate. I think Milner didn't start against Norwich, so he's going to be ready to go. Fabinho, I think we have to play Fabinho in any game pretty much at this point. And Keita, I just think maybe he's a little bit fresher and ready to go than Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but no issues with dropping Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in there. The thing for Hendo is he put a big shift in on Friday night, Joshua. He put a massive shift in, and I wanted to put the same shift in again on Saturday away to Southampton, so I'd gone with Henderson having a rest for this one. Would I put him on the bench? I don't even know if I would put him on the bench. I think I might actually just rest him and make sure that he's good to go. I mean, James Milner will do just as good a job. Mane is a sub, yes. I would have Mane on the bench, Count Andre, 100%. You do need him there just in case. Craig Adams said, strong starting side on Wednesday, possibly Matip in for Gomez, Keita in for Gini, 4-0 win, Firmino to score first. I like everything about that sentence, mate. Absolutely everything. Harvey Mood Reaction said, Craig, are you doing it? Are you doing to it? Am I doing to it? I don't know what that means, Harry. Sorry. So honestly, mate, I don't know what that means. Sorry. If you're asking me doing a watch along of the game, yes, 100%. We'll be live from 7:30 for that on Wednesday, but I don't know what the question means, so I'm kind of just inventing a question, I think. Ibrahim said, Oxlade-Chamberlain for Salah. Salah needs a rest after playing a full 2 games. I'm sound. Drop in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, no problem, mate. I believe in these boys. It really has been a nightmare to pick a team for this game, or to try and come up with what Jurgen Klopp might go with for this game, because I have no idea what's going through Kloppo's head. What I can say is we've had an extra, not quite 48 hours, but let's call it 40 hours or so over Chelsea with regards to rest and stuff. So that should play into it, and it may well play into Frank Lampard's team selection as well. What position do you guys feel I can improve on? With Miles Harvey Elliott, what position do you guys feel you can improve on? With regards to transfers, we just closed the window, but as I said, an attacking player. I think, and I've said this towards the end of the window when it was becoming blatantly obvious we really weren't going to make a big signing in this window. I think we're working on something long term, whether that's Mbappe, whether that's Sancho, I know I'm pulling out big names here, But I really do think there's something big going to happen next summer for Liverpool, and I think that that's the reason why we didn't go and do much business in this window. Although the business that we've done looks quite smart, to be fair. Harvey Elliott looks like an excellent young footballer. Sepp Berg looks like a very good centre-back as well. Size of the guy as well. Do you remember seeing him when he arrived at Melwood and he was standing beside Jurgen Klopp? That's the first time I looked and went, Jesus, he's quite a big unit. A little bit of news on Degsy Lovren as well that I'll get to in a few minutes, ladies and gents. Please do remind me of that one. Right, some more of your comments. So many comments coming in tonight. I love it. Keep them coming. Stephen Richard said, Craig, I think Mane will play 60 minutes. Yeah, that was my thought process, Stephen, is will he play 60 or will he play the last 30? And I went with the second option, because if we're a couple up and we don't need to risk him, then happy days. But I think we definitely have to have him in the matchday squad. I wonder how many Liverpool smiles there'll be if Zuma is in Chelsea's starting 11, said John Cable. Yeah, it was a bit of a rash. It was him that made the foul, wasn't it, for the penalty? It was a bit of a rash challenge, to be fair. Very sloppy from Zuma's part. Hender's the skipper and I feel that he'll start, said Craig Weston. Mate, if Hendo starts, I'm sound about that. This is just my guess at an 11. This is not me trying to knock any of the players. You can absolutely chop and change that list. Stick in Henderson, stick in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, stick in Gini Wijnaldum, and I'm sound about it. There's so many good players in this squad that anything you guys come up with from a starting 11, I can absolutely understand where you've gone. Right, first super chat of the night. Who have we got? Joseph Barca said, great job, mate, loving your work. It would be good to put a number on Chelsea and Arsenal. I think that would make a great statement. Is it wrong that I'm in no way concerned about the Arsenal game, by the way? Is it wrong, Joseph? And thank you for the super chat, mate. I just assume that's going to be a handy win at home to Arsenal. They usually come and capitulate, even with Adrian in goal and as good an attack as Arsenal have. I'm looking forward to the game, but I think we'll beat them. I think we'll beat them at home, mate. We usually do. I think I missed another super chat earlier on, so let me apologise for that one. Donald Bellers-Kimball said, big up 40 subs and who should we sign in January? Well, thank you for the super chat, Donald. I love your Beatles logo as well. Connor's a massive Beatles fan. Who do I think we should sign in January? I don't know if we'll do anything in January, you know, mate. I honestly don't know if we'll do anything. I would say to you the Klopp doesn't do much business in January, but I don't know if that's actually factually correct. Obviously, we signed Virgil van Dijk in January. I don't want to say it might depend on how things go with injuries, because I've been an advocate for saying signing players to cover injuries is really not the right way to go, because you're bringing in a player to cover, say, 2 or 3 months and you're signing them on a 4 or 5 year deal. So I think it might just depend how the season's going, but genuinely, my mind's gone to next summer with regards to transfers already. I'm not even thinking about anything in January. Anything that might happen in January to me would be a bonus. I hope that makes sense. And thank you guys both for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Especially the compliments. Love compliments. Usually get called a bald nonce, so a compliment every now and again is quite nice. And I share the compliments with Connor as well. Sometimes I throw him a down bone. Do you know what I mean? I say, hey Connor, someone said you're alright, mate, you're not too bad. I'll tell you what though, as I've said time and time again, this channel will be on its arse without Mr. Crosby. Doesn't matter what team we use, the press to be too much for Chelsea to handle, said Blue. I heard you sent me a message, Blue, as well, said you got a ticket to the game. Leicester game, if memory serves me correct, Blue, is that right? Hope you have a wonderful time. Not at all jealous. I am a little bit. Tickets are hard to come by and enjoy it. Really delighted for you. Boya, head to head against Blue when we play Leicester. Love it. Right, what else we got? Hello, Andre. Welcome in, mate. Need to contain Pedro. He's no slouch or full speed, said UK lad. Look, he's a very good footballer, Pedro. You don't have the career he's had at international level, at club level, by not being a top footballer. And yeah, he's good. He's one of those almost sometimes forgotten about really strong utility players, isn't he? So yeah, definitely have to keep an eye on Pedro. Khalil said, I personally want Brewster to start this upcoming Wednesday. Oh, that's a big call, mate. That is a big call. Does anybody know, and excuse my ignorance on this, I should probably know it a bit better, but does anybody know that how many subs are going to be on the bench for this? I probably should have done a bit more research when it comes to subs. I'm not sure how many we can have on the bench. That prediction is inaccurate. It's a fucking prediction. Of course it's inaccurate, mate. If I could read the fucking future, I'd be a very wealthy man. It's a prediction. Prediction. Now, 20 times Man United. I wonder who he supports. You're fully entitled to give me your prediction as well, mate, but of course it's inaccurate. It is a prediction. How long is Alisson out for? The good news is a few weeks is what Jurgen Klopp and the club have come out and said. They haven't committed to an exact number of weeks because, of course, things can happen, but it looks like the shorter side of the estimate that was 4 to 8 weeks. So let's work off the basis of maybe a month. I think that's fairly safe. There was some stuff going around on social media earlier that drove me nuts. I came on this morning, well, I say this morning, you guys know me, don't do the AM. Came on in the afternoon and had a look, and there were some stories doing the rounds from nobody serious, like none of the journos or anything, that it's his Achilles and that he's going to be out a lot longer than expected. And I just did a bit of research and I was thinking, nah, James Pearce has said nothing about this. Joyce has said nothing about this. Bascom said nothing about this. None of the Maddox said nothing about it. Where the hell is this coming from? And it just stems, like, again, just one or two people posting this inaccurate nonsense, and the timeline goes toxic and people just believe it. And it really annoyed me because as a football club right now and as a fan base, we should be flying high. Champions of Europe. I can't get sick of saying that. Really strong squad. Good start to the season. And for some reason, there seems to be a small section of Liverpool fans, and I wonder if they really are Liverpool fans or if they're just opposition fans on a wind-up, but they try and inject this toxicity into our fan base and turn people against each other and make people angry, and it does my fucking head in. Just stick to what we know as facts, and all we know was that he was taken off. The initial prognosis was maybe 4 to 8 weeks, and then today we got a little bit more information later in the day that suggests a few weeks, is what Jurgen Klopp said. He was asked would he be ready for Wednesday. Klopp said no, which was fairly obvious. But yeah, it's as probably was expected for 4 weeks or so maybe, and it's not great, but it's not the worst. Oxlade-Chamberlain to score a banger, said Shea Trainer. Blue said could get only one, but much appreciated and can't wait for Brewster. Being told he'll be on the bench for some Premier League games, but will get minutes in cup games. Excuse me. I don't want to give away your secret, but I know any Brewster stuff that you give us is coming from a good place, shall we say, Blue? Is that fair to say, my friend? 12 subs, 3 with 4th for extra time. Thank you very much, Seamus. I appreciate that, mate. So 12 subs available right there for Kloppo. Brewster should probably make that bench then. It's nice to have that 12, and in the Premier League you get your 7, which is kind of does limit the manager at times. I wonder why the benches in the Premier League, where you're not allowed to have more people on them, give the managers more options. Is it because the bigger clubs that have stronger squads? I don't know, but these are paid professionals, and 12 subs seems more realistic to me. Anthony Cronin said we're going to beat them 5-1. Love it, pal. Great news, it's around the month for Alisson, said Craig Weston. It is. It's very good news, mate. It's certainly better than I said, the nonsense that was going around earlier on. I'm going to take a breath here and try and calm down. Very hectic start. I feel like I didn't do Football Index justice there at the start of that stream because I was a bit distracted by that gobshite sending us the threatening message. So Football Index viewers, if you're watching, I will go through it in more detail at a later date. We'll get things ready to go. But as I said, the link that will help the channel is in the description, and if you are signing up, really simply just use the code AA when you make your first deposit and you'll get that bonus that we spoke about earlier on, and of course you have that £1,000 loss guarantee in the first month. Right, any questions, as I said, our emails are always open. Feel free to let us know or hit me up on Instagram as well. Connor loves an L threatening message on Instagram, and of course get us at Anfield Agenda on Twitter as well. Right, a few giveaways coming up in the next couple of days as well, with thanks to our friends at Blood Husky, so keep an eye out for that. They've sent a nice little package over which should be arriving tomorrow, I hope. Thought it might have been here today. Spoke to Joe earlier on, he thought it might have been here today as well, but the Irish Postal Service is a bit slow from time to time, so I'm hoping that'll be there tomorrow and we can start a giveaway because we love to give things away. Everybody leave a like, said Nat. Thank you so much, Nat. Really appreciate that. As I said earlier on, looks like the Reds have agreed a 1-year contract. Now, the 1-year part came from the Echo. I'm not sure if this has been announced by the club yet, but usually the Echo are fairly spot on when it comes to this kind of thing. He's agreed a 1-year contract with the club, and he'll be brought in to provide extra backup in the goalkeeping position for Jurgen Klopp. Caoimhín Kelleher will be back training imminently, but he did have an operation after breaking his wrist or fracturing his wrist. So that kind of left Klopp with a bit of a headache with Gurbara being out on loan as well. So good news, Andy Lonergan went over to the States with the Reds, trained over there, Somebody said that he lost 1.5 stone or something when he was training over there with Liverpool, which is brilliant. I mean, my fat ass could do it losing 1.5 stone. But well done. It's good that the club rewarded him as well, because they obviously seen that he was a professional. He fitted in well with the squad when he was over in the States. And he was available when Liverpool needed him. And because he's a free agent, we were able to go and get that contract signed. And again, good to see him providing backup to Adrian. Bernadette Farrell said, Craig, the AA Agenda Army is growing. We all look forward to your daily fix. It's a community, Bernadette, as we said from day one, which is, again, to make sure we're blunt and honest about everything. We try and be as transparent as possible, which sometimes works against us because people call us out and stuff, but it is a community on here, and we try and do things to benefit the community, and bringing in money helps us to keep the channel free. It helps us to do little fun bits like giveaways. It enables me and Connor to travel and do little bits and pieces and do meetups and lots of other things as well, and we're not going to lie about it. Ibrahim said, Craig, can I ask, why do I hate AFTV? You can ask, mate, of course. Now, I want to be very clear on this. I have nothing against any single individual that makes up AFTV. I don't know Robbie, don't know Troops, don't know any of the guys. In fact, they look like quite nice guys. Look like decent fellas. What I don't like, mate, is the way that they portray their own fan base at times, and the whole sensationalism of what they do with the fan cams. That's the part that I don't really like. I think if you're a fan channel, this is my opinion, if you're a fan channel, you should try and portray your fans in a positive way. You should try and big up your fans. You should try and show the world why your fans are absolutely amazing, which is what I try to do with Liverpool fans in my own small little unique way. Now, they are in a fortunate enough position where they get to go to games and they get to do these fan cams afterwards. And I know other channels do fan cams as well, but I find, from what I've seen, it's very sensationalised, and it makes some of the fans look like absolute mugs, and invites opposition fans to come in and quite frankly have a laugh at them and laugh at their fume. And I just don't like it. For me, if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be very happy about being portrayed in that way. But that's just my opinion. It's obviously a massively successful channel, and as I said, I have nothing against any of the individuals at all involved in it. I don't know them. It would be wrong of me to, maybe Mr. Double Initials a little bit. You know, I'm not a fan of his, but defo Team Mark and that argument when it comes to Mark and DT. But other than that, look, I've nothing against the guys. I'm a fan of the way the channel is done. It's just a personal preference. Craig, the 10% bonus is a no-brainer with them. Also getting the money back. If your player loses money, you can't really lose. Well, I'd like to say you can't really lose, but I've got to be honest. You can, of course, lose because it's gambling. But I've been doing pretty well, and what I've done, as you said, the 10% bonus is nice, and that is a maximum of 50 quid. So yeah, use the code AA. That's where you get that 10% bonus. And again, thank you to Football Index for getting in contact with us. It's nice when a company you already use their product gets in contact with you. So thank you to the guys at Football Index, Harry and the team over there. Mossy, how are you, mate? Oh my god, Mossy's late in. This has never happened before. Stop the stream, Mossy. I'm only joking, mate. I hope you're well. Man with the Plan said, big shout out to Anfield Agenda and DJ Virus Accumulator at the weekend. DJ Virus? Oh, you've lost me on that one, mate. Also, don't like DT or don't blame you, Craig, said Scotty. Dude, you're top of my books because you interact with us. I appreciate it, mate. I'd be lost without you guys. This whole channel exists just to have a chat. That's what we do. We go live to have a chat with you guys. And I love it. I wouldn't change a thing. I absolutely love being on here, and it's a pleasure to be on here every night. And I'm so proud of what we're building here as well. I'm so proud of this community that we're putting together. It's a wonderful thing, and it's given myself and Connor a lot of joy, a lot of headaches at times, but headaches that have been worth every single second of it. And yeah, again, going back to the Football Index thing, I know it isn't for everybody. I know people aren't. Some people aren't fans of gambling, and I absolutely understand and appreciate that. As I've said before, I've had issues. My parents were alcoholics. I've had issues around drink. Not me personally. I've no issues with drink. I just don't like it. But as I've been blunt and honest before, my parents are alcoholics. It would be easy for me to say be offended by drink things that are popping up as well. And I know people have had family members that have had issues with gambling, and I fully respect that, which is why I make sure to point out the BeGambleAware.org as well is there for anybody. And I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, But I just hope that you appreciate that it's only a tiny segment of what we do, and it's done with the best intentions, and it's done to try and keep things ticking over on the channel, and to stop us doing stuff behind a paywall, or to stop us doing other bits and pieces, and to try and help us grow. And all these decisions we make, as I said, this has been in the pipeline for months. It's not something we've rushed into. It's something that we've thought about for quite a long time. Gone for and against. We've turned down some stuff with gaming or with betting companies, as in the traditional bookies, shall we say, because we didn't feel it was right at the time for the channel. But football indexes, it's a little bit different. It's a bit of a long-term strategy, and while it is real money and it is gaming, I find it really, really enjoyable. And I'm not going to lie about it. As I said, if you're clever and if you do the research, there's a few quid to be made, and there's a few quid to be lost as well. But for my preference, it's been more beneficial than none. Does anybody now? What's this? Does anyone see Manchester United as title contenders? Asked Ben Dinley. No, I don't. Top 4, yes, absolutely in there for a shout, but title contenders for me, I don't know. What about you people? Not for me. Easy to get carried away with a good result, and it was a great result for United, don't get me wrong. Mossy said, Craig, when are you doing the fantasy shows? I think the class and your class keep up the good work. Tomorrow night, Mossy, the fantasy show will be going out tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Myself, Brian and Billy, Brian's mate, who is another fantasy football guru. Now I will absolutely be stepping aside and leaving Brian and Billy to the nitty gritty of this, because I'm shit at Fantasy Premier League. I've said it time and time again, and my result this week showed that. I think I got 49 points or something like that, but amazingly I won my head to head. I must have gotten the only other low scoring person this week in the head to head in the fantasy league, because somehow I won my head-to-head this week, which is great. Not going to lie, delighted about that. But I think I'm 600 and something in the Anfield Agenda, or the Blood Husky sponsored Anfield Agenda Fantasy Premier League. So yeah, shocking start for me, as I said. Darren O'Mahony said, I've been watching your channel for a long time, and I don't know how long. I usually don't come on from Cork up the Rebels, but I thought I'd say that you've grown so much, and well done. Darren, mate, really love that, and thank you so much for letting us know. There's loads of people that don't comment, or they're just watching the background, or some people, like, I have a lady that emails me maybe 2-3 times a week, and she watches, but she doesn't have an account on YouTube, so she never comments on anything. She sends me stuff on email instead, and I really enjoy our little interactions. It's been a pleasure getting to know her, and I won't give away her name because, you know, that's her own private business, but it's lovely, Darren, mate, when people like yourself pop on just to say hello every now and again, and to let us know that you're watching there, and we do appreciate it, buddy. And I would say up the Rebels, but I'm a dub, so I hope you can forgive me on that one. Blue said, it's kind of investing, really. You need knowledge of players. It is, and you got to do your research on it. It is, absolutely. It's a stock market for footballers. Hendo put a stamp on the captaincy this season and win some more silverware, said Harry Williams. Yeah, no matter what else happens, Harry, and Jordan Henderson, or what people's opinions are of the man, he is a European Cup winning Liverpool captain, and he will forever go down in the history books of this football club as a European Cup winning captain. And you would want to be heartless to not be moved by himself and his father celebrating after the Reds won in Madrid. It still almost brings me to tears when I watch it now. It was such a lovely moment between father and son who've been through a lot. His father, of course, battled cancer. Henderson we tried to force him out of the club. Let's be blunt about it. We tried to sell him to Fulham. And he stayed. And he fought. And he lifted the European Cup. And if that doesn't fill you full of inspiration to let you know anything is possible if you just keep fighting, then I don't know what will. So yeah, for me, no matter what else happens with Hendo, he has won the European Cup as Liverpool captain, and he will be up there with the greats. And I love saying it. I really do love saying it. Ben Dinley said, I'm on holiday at Pontins when we play Chelsea, so I won't know the score. Just assume we're going to win, Ben. Sorry, we're going to win, mate. Let's go. Let's be braggadocious here. We're going to win. Liam Granby said, not a chance United will be in the title race. Where has the first 45 minutes of this stream gone, by the way? It's absolutely flown by. Craig, we Arsenal can win. Unlikely, but you never know, said Devon. Yeah, of course you can. If this was at the Emirates, I'd be a lot more worried, Devon. But the fact that it's at Anfield, and they're usually good, entertaining games. I mean, I enjoy watching Liverpool playing Arsenal because they're usually a decent game of football. And Arsenal will improve, and Unai Emery is a good manager, and you've made some good additions to the squad. I'm not going to belittle Arsenal, mate. I just really believe in our group of players, Devon, and I think having not lost at home in the Premier League in 2 years, it's going to take a good performance from somebody to get that W at Anfield, and I just don't think Arsenal will be able to do it. I think we'll be too strong. Mr. Steamer's in the house. How are you, sir? Are you Pep Guardiola's brother? No, I'm the other ball fraud, mate. No, I'm not his brother. I wish I had Pep's money. Do you know what I mean? But no, I'm not his brother. And if I was, I'd be his fat ball brother. What does Up the Rebels mean? He's from Cork, mate. It's every county in Ireland basically has a nickname. Like Waterford, for instance, where Brian's from, is the Dacia. So the Rebels. That's where he's going with that one. It's a reference to Cork. Brewster will be a Liverpool legend, said Drifty Nifty. I think he will. Thanks for the shout out. My pleasure, Harry. Absolutely my pleasure, mate. And thank you for constantly watching and contributing to the channel. Mossy Kyo got 71 points in fantasy this week. Look at you. I believe our top scorer in person was 109, having a quick glance through the league in Fantasy Premier League. That's an amazing score. So I can't remember who that was, but well done. And don't forget that whoever tops the league at the end of every month, the last calendar day of the month, will get a prize from bloodhusky.com. You can go and choose any t-shirt you want on there, and Joe will get that sent over to you. Bloodhusky, the sponsors of our Fantasy Premier League. Again, bloodhusky.com. Use the code AnfieldAgenda10 and you'll get yourself a 10% discount of any purchase of 2 or more products from bloodhusky.com. And just to clear this up for some people, no, we don't make a penny from that. Just want to make that clear in case people think, again, we're trying to push stuff for money. We don't make a penny from that. We work to get you guys that discount instead of us making money. So I love their products as well. I can't wait. My t-shirts should be arriving tomorrow. I can't wait to try them on. Which, when you're fat like me, you got to make sure everything fits. You know what I mean? Miles Harvey writes that I've had a shocker in the first week. 37 points. Was it you that I beat then? In the head-to-head, Miles? It could have been, you know. Because I got 47, I think. 47 or 49. And whoever I beat got 37 or 39. So maybe it was you, mate. So if it was, thank you for having that shocker to allow me to pick up at least one win. Because I'm not expecting much from this Fantasy Premier League season. Dexter Morgan said, pretty confident without Alisson as well. Yes. I mean, Alisson is just a very important part of our team. But he is just one member of a very good group of footballers. So I'm hoping Adrian can come in and do a good job. Stevie Richard said, Craig, Henderson's an inspiration to anybody who's feeling bad, then fights the way out of the situation and end up being a winner. Very well said, my friend. Very well said. Hendo is absolutely an inspiration. A couple of little bits of, what would we call it, bookkeeping to go up with. Liverpool youngster Herbie Kane is attracting loan interest for a number of Football League clubs. Portsmouth and Coventry have both been interested in signing him. Well, apparently the League 1 and League 2 windows open until September the 2nd, so keep an eye on that one. Herbie Kane could be going out on loan. Portsmouth and Coventry, as I said, the two teams leading the race. With regard to the Champions League, as defending champions, the Reds will be in pot number 1 for the draw of the Champions League group stage. The draw will take place on August 29th and the first round of games take place on September the 18th and 19th, so keep an eye out for that one. I know some people yesterday or the day before were asking me when the group stage draw takes place, so I went and did a bit of research today, and as I said, it takes place on August the 29th, and as being the motherfucking champions, the Reds will be in pot number 1. Where we belong, quite frankly, because we are motherfucking champions of Europe. How many times? Why, it will be 6 times, ladies and gentlemen. Right, what else have we got? Degsy Lovren. We said we'd have a little chat around Dejan Lovren as well. The transfer window in the UK is closed, as we know, but that's only with regards to incomings. And the Echo have posted today that Liverpool have named their price for defender Dejan Lovren. It seems with it seems that 15 million with another 5 million in add-ons, and that's in euro, by the way. So 20 million euro will be enough to get a deal done for Degsy. Now, again, I want to ask you guys, if Dejan Lovren does move on, how do you feel that leaves us with regards to centre-backs in this window? Do you think the likes of having Sepp van den Berg there as an option, Kiana Hoover, Nat Phillips has gone on loan to Stuttgart, so he isn't available to us. We know Fabinho could drop in there and play centre-back if needs be. So if we do move on Dejan Lovren, do you think that we have enough to get us through? And do you think that 20 million euro including add-ons is a fair price for Degsy Lovren? Personally, I think it is, but I had some conversations on Twitter with people who think he's worth more. And again, I can understand that. He's a very experienced centre-back. But yeah, it seems like he's on his way to Italy if he does move. And AC Milan and Roma are the two clubs that seem to be expressing the most interest in signing Degsy. So again, love to know your thoughts on that, ladies and gents. Did you see Mourinho said when asked about who will compete for the title? Man City, Liverpool, Spurs and Manchester City's B team. I didn't remember seeing that part. Mourinho's a decent pundit, to be fair. I do enjoy him when he's not so full of bitterness. I don't get the love in that this guy gave Maguire so much. I mean, I think I went a little bit over the top, but I'm still baffled as to how the fuck he got man of the match in a game that Rashford scored 2, United won 4-0, but somehow the centre-back of United gets man of the match. I mean, it just seems odd. And for me as well, I want to put this out there, whilst the United defence had a good game, I actually thought Lindelof probably had a better game than Maguire for me. And the post and the crossbar and a couple of De Gea saves as well stops United from having that clean sheet ruined. So, whilst I'm not denying Maguire is a good addition to United's team, was he really man of the match against Chelsea? I don't see it. I really don't see it. I think it was bullshit from Sky, if I'm being honest. But look, that's just my opinion. Awfully, the faithful, said Dodge76. Craig, do you realise I'm always in the chat so early except for today? Of course. I do keep an eye on the chat, mate, when we stream and we schedule things. I do pop in and check early sometimes just to make sure everybody's okay. What's this? Somebody said I'm not fat. Thank you. I love when people lie to me in a nice way. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here. The chat's moved so fast that I'm scrolling back through, trying to catch up. 86 points from Morton. Nice. Obviously know what you're at when it comes to fantasy. There we go. James Kirkman, thank you very much for the kind lie, mate, by saying I'm not fat. I appreciate that. Do you think Brewster will make the bench with having 12? Yes, I do, Stephen. I wasn't sure how many we had, but somebody kindly researched earlier on and let me know that apparently it's 12 available that can sit in the bench in the Super Cup. So yeah, I'd imagine he'd be on the bench for that. Stephen Richard said, Craig, Pep dresses up like a geography teacher and Anfield rap called him a meth. Yeah, he wears some strange clothes. I mean, the Super Cup, he looked like he was coming out in a fucking Primark white t-shirt. And I remember we played them in, was it in pre-season? At one point, maybe last season. And he had some really odd jumper on as well. He does have some strange choices, but look, the man knows what he's about when it comes to football. He's an excellent manager. Kev, I know you got 109, mate. I was so proud of you. I said it to Brian last night. Look at Kev going out there, tearing it up with 109 points. Top work, mate. Top work indeed. 109. Mate, an idiot like me can only dream about a 109 point week in Fantasy Premier League. What's your fantasy league called? It's called the Blood Husky Premier League, and we also have a head-to-head league as well. But I want to point out that both leagues are closed to new entries. We thought it was only fair that we did it before the end of the game, week 1. Shay Trainer said Adrian will be fine. I'm with you, mate. I'm expecting no issues. Subi's back on Adrian. Good to see. I like it. What's your prediction for week 2? I don't know what you mean by week 2, mate. Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Are you talking about us against Southampton, or are you talking about Fantasy Premier League? I'm confused. How about the audaciousness of youth? I like it. Gone back to last night, Maxwell, when I was trying to think about the name. Yes, audaciousness is a rather suave phrase, mate. I like it. Thank you. Abel reckons Liverpool are going to lose to Chelsea 3-1. Anything is possible. Or probably Abel, sorry mate. Anything is possible, my friend. Maybe you're a Chelsea fan, maybe you're a United fan, maybe you're a City fan, I don't know, but you're clearly not a Liverpool fan, and that's alright. And love to know anybody else's predictions ahead of the Super Cup on Wednesday. Sad to see Lovren go, but he's too good to be fourth choice, said Craig Adams. Well, he hasn't gone anywhere just yet, mate, but yeah, it looks like there's still something left in this. Why no Mane, asks Brad. I'm a bit nervous, Brad. I'm a bit nervous about rushing him back too quickly, and with the travelling involved as well. Maybe I'm just worried about an injury or an unnecessary injury. I'd probably leave him for the Southampton game and have him on the bench, but that's all it is, mate. It's just because I'm worried about another injury. I don't want him to rush back too soon. I think he had 16 days off after the African Cup of Nations, where I think the other players had a little bit longer than that. Stephen Booker said, Lovren Sale topping up the pot for Mbappe and Havertz. Hashtag 2020, Stephen. James Painter said 1-3. No way that's happening. The Reds aren't losing 3-1. I'm with you, James. Not happening. Curtis Dalton said, Craig, just want to say you do a fantastic job. You only increase my love for our club. Keep up the brilliant work. Again, thank you so much, mate. It's easy when you guys give me stuff like this in the chat to work with, and you guys give me some great comments and insight, as well as saving my ass on a daily basis, because we all know I've got a memory like a sieve as well, and I'm forever forgetting stuff. And I know that when I do forget it, I can just throw it out there and you guys will let me know and save my backside. Liam Granby said, what's your thoughts on Dejan, Craig? Would you cash in or keep him? Kind of like with Mignolet, mate, and with Kleiny when he went last year as well on loan to Bournemouth. I want a player to be able to play football, and if Dejan had a conversation with the gaffer and Kloppo said, look, as things stand, Dejan, you're fourth choice for us, and your options or your opportunities this season are going to be limited. Maybe he turned around to Klopp and said, I want to play. I'm getting to the point of my career now where I've got a few years left. I want to go and play, maybe experience another league. If Kloppo thinks he can cope, if Kloppo thinks that the team is alright, I'd allow him to move on, because a footballer that wants to play football, for me, is somebody we should all respect. You've got other people who are quite happy to rob a wage at clubs, so yeah, if Degsy wants to move on, I think he's been here long enough that we should just say, well done, mate, and wish you the best with the rest of your career. What's this? Mossy Kill said, reports Liverpool have agreed to deal with Roma for 13.9 million. For who? Mossy? Or what? I'm completely thrown by that, mate. Who's this player we've apparently been linked to for £13.9 million? Is it Tragot? Said up the Reds. I'm so sorry if I've mispronounced your name, my friend. I'd be so sad if Degsy Lovren moves on. Oh, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about Roma and Degsy Lovren. Duh, Mossy. I mean, this is what I mean. Stupid me. And this is how you guys saved my ass. 13.9 million. Is that including the add-ons, mate? Or is that the €50 million part within the add-ons to go on top of that? AC Milan had been the front runners for quite a long time, but they backed off a little bit. And then Roma... Did Roma move on a centre-back somewhere? Which may have freed up a spot. But yeah, Roma seem to be the front runners as things stand. Keep Lovren for one more year, reckons Mossy. Keep him. Salah's busy. I know, who's going to get the coffee in? That's what I was wondering. If Degsy does move on, who's going to get the coffee in? And who's going to get their ass handed to them in table tennis by Mo? Goldbridge, I'm not reading that part because I think that's a bit too mean, Jenna, said Bissaka is better than Robbo and he feels the best fullback in England. Wow, the Manx are deluded. Well, to be fair, from what I remember, and having had a conversation with Mark Goldbridge on the stream there last week, or yeah, it was last week, I think he was quite frank and fair in his assessment of Wan-Bissaka. He said that he's behind Trent Alexander-Arnold in his development. Comparing him to Robertson would be strange because Rob was a left back. And I remember him saying that it's a shame that Aaron Wan-Bissaka wasn't a left back because having him and Trent would mean England would be sorted for the future. And that's what I remember Mark saying on the stream when he was on. And I always want to try and be fair to people. Mark took the time to come onto the stream, give his views, and I don't want him to be misquoted now. I don't know if he said something else on his own stream, but Jenna, all I can say is when he was on here, he was actually quite complimentary about Trent, and anything I've seen of him, he has said that Trent is further along in his development. And what else is shocking is Trent's a year younger than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So the comparisons for me between the two, and again, this isn't a dig at you, Jenna. This is something from Twitter, actually, that annoyed me, is so many of these polls, like, who's better, like for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, retweet for Trent. They shouldn't be compared yet. Trent has been around longer. Trent has been established, played at a higher level, won the Champions League, been to another Champions League final, played at a higher level in the Premier League with Liverpool. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka going to United is a good move, and he will be an excellent fullback. I've no doubt about that whatsoever. I just think now, comparing the two of them, it's a little bit unfair to Aaron Wan-Bissaka because he needs more time and Trent's been playing at a higher level for a longer time. But he's still a year younger. That baffles me. Trent's 20 years of age and he's as good as he is already. How good is he going to be when he's 23, 24, 25? It's going to be great to find out. Alonso said, I'm afraid if Dejan leaves, it'll affect Salah's performance and overall mood. Again, I don't think Klopp would allow that to happen, mate, if he thought that it would have a negative impact on Mohamed Salah. Professional footballers know that players come and go, players move. Lovren will have had friends at Southampton. He would have, is it Lyon that he came from originally? Salah again, Fiorentina, Roma, Basel. It happens, you move, you say your goodbyes, you make friends, you move to a new club. Whatever happens, they'll keep in touch. They're besties. They're therefore going to keep in touch either way. Dejan Lovren would be an awfully big loss. Look at what happened last year, said Paul Murray. I get you. But again, does it not let people think, am I just again being an optimist, that bringing these little few quids in here and there and moving Lovren on, there has to be something big in the works for next summer. There just has to be. Everything seems to be pointing to us making a big move next summer. Craig Adams said, got faith in Hoover and Vandenberg, so not worried. V8 is going for a 6-1 win for the Reds against Chelsea. I like it. I'd rather 5-0, but I'll take a 6-1. Fair play to the person that beat you in the fantasy league, said Scotty. Mate, another week, another chance for you. That's the beauty about it. There's a head-to-head league and a regular league, so you've got a chance to come back. Didn't Mourinho put us third behind Tottenham? I don't know, Craig. I honestly can't remember what Mourinho said. Yeah, I think if I remember, I was cooking Lucas's dinner after the game and I didn't really listen to much of the post-match analysis. What else we got? Coutinho leaving didn't affect Firmino, which is a good shout from Byron, and they were very close mates as well. Still are. You've seen them celebrating after Brazil's Copa America win, partying together, and I think they still meet up, and I think their wives are good friends as well. So yeah, it's a good show. Lovren is a big personality in the dressing room, but so is Oxlade-Chamberlain, Robertson, Brewster, Alisson, Milner. In fact, it's a very upbeat dressing room. It is. Does anybody know who controls the music in the dressing room? I often wondered about that. I mean, who gets the tunes pumping beforehand? That's it's very important. Or are we at a point now where I'm too old school and players have their own earphones in and listen to their own music? Am I showing my age here? I'm still picturing a fucking boombox basically in the corner of the dressing room with a tape deck. Yeah, I'm old, I know. What do you think of Chelsea's team, said Jack. Very difficult to gauge, mate. I was shocked at the 11 that Lampard put out at Old Trafford. I mean, that genuinely did shock me. I was expecting a more experienced team than that. Kante, I know, had a little niggle or a knock or something, or was working his way back, so maybe he wasn't available for the full game. Pulisic, I'm expecting to start in the Super Cup. I thought he gave them a little bit extra when he came on. But all in all, it wasn't a great 11. It wasn't an 11 that would worry me, even allowing them to perhaps bring back in Willian, Kante. Yeah, they just don't look sharp. Abraham, I have questions about whether he will make it at the very top level. He looks like a decent player. Very unlucky when a shot hit the post as well against United. It's going to be interesting to see if himself and Mount and those other young Chelsea players can make it. Which pundit do I hate the most and which one do I like the most? So, I think I've spoken before. Pundit / presenter, if I can stretch it, that I like the most, probably Jake Humphries from BT. I think he does an excellent job. I think he's always very fair and very level in his analysis of stuff. Who do I hate the most? Well, hate's a strong word. Dislike. I think I'll go with dislike. Ferdinand, I think, is a plank. He doesn't half talk bollocks sometimes. As a human being, nothing against Rio Ferdinand. I know his life story, and he seems like a good man. But sometimes his football views are very strange to me. Robbie Savage, look, he's Robbie Savage. He's there to do what Robbie Savage does. He's there to say silly things. Chris Sutton, not a fan of him either. Over on Sky's side, don't like Thierry Henry. Souness annoys me sometimes, if I'm being honest about it. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably the list. Carragher and Neville, I think, work well together. Again, Carragher was, for me, bigging up Maguire a bit too much unnecessarily, but Jake Humphries is definitely my favourite of the presenters and pundits. Joseph Barca reckons Manchester City to win the league, then Liverpool. Look, they probably are rightly favourites, mate. But I reckon we're going to give them one hell of a push again this season. Divock said he gets on the tunes in an interview with Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, of course he does. And if anyone has anything to say about it, Divock just lashes it out there and goes, deal with it. Divock's in charge of the fucking tunes. I used to be Sturridge who organised the music. I can definitely get that. I can definitely see Sturridge being in charge of the tunes. The man knows his music. So yeah, rightly so. You couldn't argue with if Sturridge was in charge of the music when he was there. Who's your favourite Liverpool player of all time? Asked John Cullen. Robbie Fowler. John, absolutely love him. Yeah, Robbie Fowler. And current players that are here, Bobby Firmino. I mean, how would you not love Bobby? How would you not love that beautiful white beam and smile? Ladies and gentlemen, we have just over half an hour to go on tonight's stream, 35 minutes. If you're enjoying the stream, and I'm having great fun, please do hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please do put them in the chat as well. This is your show after all. You tell me what you want to chat about. Glenn Huddle is biased, said yes sir. Danny Murphy's a good pundit. I would disagree. I think Danny Murphy is an awful pundit, as is Jermaine Jenas, but it is a game of opinions, buddy, and we all see things differently. What's your Premier League Round 2 predictions? Mate, I haven't got the fixtures in front of me to go through them all. I'd imagine we're going to beat Southampton away. I mean, Southampton had a shocking start to the season. Didn't they lose 3-0 or something? So I'm expecting us to go there and win, even though, you know, the fans will be up for it because it's Liverpool and they still hold something against Liverpool because we took a lot of their leading players away from them. No, I didn't mean that. Was meant for the guy that asked about what Mourinho said. It's no worry, Joseph, mate, and thank you for the super chat. But if you've any other comments, Joseph, put them in, mate. You know, I appreciate the super chats, but don't feel that that's the only way you'll get noticed, mate. If you've something to say, I'll look out for your comments, and thank you so much, mate. Think after watching the Liverpool video, Oxlade-Chamberlain does the music, says Seamus Smith. Would I bring Coutinho back as a big signing behind Mane? Nope, not at the moment. And actually on Coutinho, you lead me in rather nicely to something I have in my notes. You might remember a while back, I think it was when I was speaking to Dave Henry, we were talking about Coutinho and the possibility of a move to Bayern Munich. Now, stories are starting to appear about that potential transfer of Felipe Coutinho from Barcelona to Bayern Munich. As I said, I did mention it to you guys a few weeks back as something possibly to keep an eye on. There's still time for European clubs to get business done because that window doesn't close. Well, it varies. Some of them go all the way to the end of August. I think some of them close a week earlier than others. But as it stands, most of the major European leagues outside of the Premier League can still get transfers done. So I'd say there could be something in Coutinho to Bayern Munich. We've seen what the PSG fans have basically told Neymar to fuck off. Have you seen that? I can't really translate the Portuguese or Spanish, but it was something along the lines of "fuck off, you son of a bitch." Something along those lines, I think they were singing. And I think they've just had enough. Somebody posted something up earlier on, maybe. I'm not sure if this is entirely true. Have PSG removed all Neymar stuff from the club shop as well? All the printed jerseys and stuff like that? Or somebody did a walkthrough of the shop and it didn't look like there was any there anyway. What do you guys think as well about potential move for Coutinho to Bayern Munich? I mean, it makes some sense to me. Bayern Munich, a very good club. FC Hollywood, as they're also known. I wonder, will he dig his heels in though at Barca and try and prove himself? I mean, we spoke earlier on about Henderson doing that here at Liverpool. Happily Egg said, I have a feeling that a lot of teams will park the bus against us this season. They try it, mate, but what I've noticed as well, we often used to struggle against low block teams now, but with the quick delivery from Trent and Robbo and Hendo, I mean, just look at Trent's ball in for Divock's goal in particular, that beautiful diagonal pass to the centre of the 18-yard box, and Divock made the run. Even teams sitting back playing that low block, it's going to be difficult to keep Liverpool out because we can create opportunities from all different types of angles now. And I don't think that's going to work against us anymore, mate. I think the days of us really struggling against the low block are over. Thankfully. It always helps as well in those games if you can pick up an early goal. Kev said, I must admit it was nice singing a new song in the Cop on Friday. We are the champions, champions of Europe. We are the champions, champions of Europe. I was right behind the white banner at the start as well. Again, I'm fucking jealous, Kev. But Yeah, I know you had a long trip up to the game as well, mate. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody in your supporters club enjoyed it. 4-1 Friday night, great start to the Premier League for the Reds. Ian Rush was the bomb, said Soldier 1. What, his goal scoring machine, man. Absolute machine. I spoke about this before. Do you remember the brilliant, what was it, Match or Score? I can't remember which magazine it was, but one of them was an April Fool's Day prank. Put Ian Rush in an Everton jersey and put it out. That was one of the best pranks I've ever seen. Absolutely brilliant. I went to Sagrim, Turkey, and it was beautiful, said Rachel. I'm just back from that exact part. Rachel, Sarajevo or Sagrim, I can never pronounce it. Just near Dalaman. That's the easiest way. What an area, Rachel. As I said, just back there myself. A beautiful mountainous region with a wonderful coast. Beautiful people, beautiful weather, beautiful food. I'm in love with the place, Rachel. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely somewhere my family's going to go back to. Yeah, look, if you're thinking of going to Turkey, ladies and gents, highly recommend Sarajevo. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. As Rachel has posted it in there, Seregerme. Absolutely beautiful area in Turkey. And if you're going on your jolly bobs and thinking of Turkey, do check out that area. It's so fucking pretty and so tranquil, and it's just gorgeous. It is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, and I'll never forget the plane journey into land, flying over this turquoise blue beautiful water and mountains, and then just landing on an airport and just looking around. It was just beautiful. Honestly, I'm not one for really buying into natural beauty, but oh my goodness, you couldn't help but look at it and just think how gorgeous it was. Yeah, definitely check it out if you're looking at somewhere for your holidays. We went all inclusive now. TUI Family Life was the name of the hotel that we stayed in. TUI Family Life. And palm trees all over the hotel. Staff were amazing. Facilities unbelievable. I mean, I cannot say enough good things about the hotel that we stayed in, as well as the area. Anyone ever has any questions, you guys know, hit me up on Twitter. You can hit them at Connor at Instagram, or you can email us. Always happy to answer questions. If you like your holidays like I do, you like any little tips and stuff as well, and I've been sharing a few bits and pieces, and I've learned a few bits and pieces from people over the years as well when it comes to travelling. Bayern Munich will do well with Coutinho. It's the right place for him. He'll be confident to start every game, said Happily Eggs. PDK said, Craig, do you know who holds the record for the most trophies in the season with all the cups in the Premier League and World Club Cups and the rest? I don't. Honestly, mate, I don't. I'd love to know though if you have the answer for me. Apparently we're calling Karius. Calling him what? He's not coming back to Liverpool. I wouldn't pay any attention to that whatsoever. The Lonergan thing, the club have posted about it. He will sign. It's only a short-term deal. Why would you bring Karius back to a club where, let's be honest about it, a big majority of the fans still wouldn't be happy to have him back? I personally have nothing against Karius. I wish him well, but I think he should stay at Besiktas. And for the sake of 4 weeks, would we really cancel all that money and the potential income that we get from that 2-year loan to buy deal that we have with Besiktas for Karius? Best pundits were Saint and Greavesy. You know what, John? That brings me back, mate. That brings me right back. As a child, being able to stay up late and watching them. Yes, I agree. I always enjoyed watching those two. Rachel said, we went to TUI Family Life as well about a month ago. Nice. It is a beautiful, beautiful hotel, Rachel, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, my family want to go back there again next year. They really enjoyed it. Turkey is amazing, said Tyler. It is. We've been to Kusadasi 3 times, and this was our first time going to Sarajevo, and I will always be going back towards Sarajevo if I go back to Turkey. Nothing against Kusadasi. Kusadasi is great, but it was just, maybe I'm getting old, or maybe I'm starting to appreciate natural beauty, but Sarajevo was just amazing. Press Salah said Karius is injured, so there you go. We can definitely put that one in the not happening list. Good man, Prez. Yo, mate, when Chelsea ban comes to an end, where do you think Chelsea has to spend money on when their ban comes to an end? A striker. You could probably name, apart from goalkeeper, obviously, because they're not going to change Pepe when they spend so much money on him. A centre back, a keeper, a midfielder, a winger, I mean, at least those 4 positions. Sorry, something in my eye. 1 sec. Apologies. Itchy eye. Karius or Bogdan? Pass. Pass. Neither. I had to suffer Jimmy Hill when I was a kid, said Stephen Richards. Again, though he wasn't too bad, mate. It was kind of all that was around back then, wasn't it? Jimmy Hill, Saint Greavesy. Yeah. I used to enjoy watching them when I was a kid, to be fair. What was your reaction when Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker in WrestleMania? I didn't watch it. As I said, I used to be a massive wrestling fan, but that was many moons ago. I don't watch it these days. Am I looking forward to Wednesday? Asks Kane. Oh yes, pal. I'm taking this game very seriously, and I want Liverpool to win it. As I said with the stream title tonight, this trophy needs to be taken seriously. This one will go down in the record books. And winning becomes a habit. Lifting silverware becomes a habit. And as we like to say, Liverpool Football Club exists to win trophies. And there's the opportunity of a trophy on Wednesday. And we should go to try and win it. Jimmy the Chin said happily eggs. Now. Again, just taking us back for 1 second, ladies and gents, to our football index stuff earlier on. If anybody is looking to sign up, remember, use the link in the description or just put the code AA in if you're asked to put in a sign up code. Please do. That'll look after the channel, and as we said at the time, you will also receive your 10% bonus on your players bought in the first month, up to a maximum of £50. And Football Index have been kind enough to guarantee anybody's losses up to £1,000 or €1,000 in their first month. Again, lots of love to those guys. And then full transparency, as I said, if you do sign up with that link, if you do deposit, if you do put in AA as the sign up code, we will make money from it, and it will help to go towards the cost of running the channel. Again, not going to hide away from that fact. We will make money from it. I feel guilty sometimes even saying that, because you get people that throw stuff back at us, like somebody earlier on said, I thought you didn't care about money. We don't really, because we could make a lot more. Trust me, a lot more. We could be here ramming shit down your throats night after night, but it's not what we want to do. But this is a good opportunity for us to help keep things ticking over. So if Football Index is your thing, if you're going to give it a try, use the sign up code AA when you're asked to put in a code, or use the tracking link which is in the description below. And any questions, please do feel free. Our emails are always open. If you're not sure about anything, want further information, we are here to help, ladies and gents. Please feel free to hit us up. If we win the Super Cup, I'll do a victory parade around the Alamo, said Stephen Richards. I want the video. I want proof, Mr. Richards. I want proof. I'm quite happy Everton are on the up. I'd like there to be a real Merseyside rival that could contest us again, said Herb. They've done some decent business, the Ev, I'm not going to lie. Moise Keane, is that how you pronounce his name? Looks like a decent addition to their squad. Yeah, they're not bad. Kills me to fucking say that. They're still not going to be challenging. I don't think they'll be even there fighting for Europe. The 0-0 draw against Palace, wasn't it? It was quite an entertaining 0-0 draw, to be fair. I did watch the game. Craig, I agree, it's a chance of winning a trophy, said Kane. It is, and it will go in the history books, unlike the Community Shield, which doesn't go on our wall of honours at Melwood. So this one will. I think it will help us overtake United, won't it? It will push us one ahead of United, I think, if memory serves me correct. Press Salah reckons the Reds are going to beat the Bitters 4-1 this season. Nice. I'm expecting the usual 6, mate. 6 points. I know we got a draw last season, and they fucking love to talk about that draw as well, because they actually feel that they won the league for Manchester City with that draw. I mean, I've seen some conversations back and forth on Twitter between Evertonians or Everton fans and City fans saying, well, we helped you to win the league last year. Right, mate, if that's what makes you sleep at night. When's the DVD out? Here's the 5 most entertaining teams in the Premier League. Liverpool, City, Arsenal. I'm not going to include Spurs in the most entertaining teams. Definitely in the top 3 teams as a group, but I wouldn't call them one of the most entertaining teams. Who else is entertaining to watch in the Premier League? Wolves, again, a very good solid team. I'd say Leicester are quite entertaining to watch. A lot of pace on that side as well. A lot of good young up and coming players, and with Vardy, you're always going to have a bit of a menace up front. And do you know what I enjoyed? Norwich. I enjoyed their performance at Anfield, and if you watched them in the Championship last year, you'll know that they went up playing football in what I would call the right kind of way, and they were involved in a lot of really high scoring and interesting games, so I'd say keep an eye on them as well. Yasser reckons Wolves. I think Wolves are a really good team. I just don't know if I would call them an entertaining team. They're a well-drilled, hard to break down, very tough, gritty side. But I don't know if I would class them as entertaining. I suppose it depends again what you're entertained by. Press Salah reckons Palace. Is that with regards to entertaining? I'm not giving any Roy Hodgson team that tag me. Just out of bitterness, I'm not going to do it. Barosh or Heskey? Heskey. I mean, people sometimes forget how good Heskey was at times. Heskey was a damn fine footballer. I know we mock at times, we talk about him falling over and we talk about other things, but peak Emil Heskey was a very good footballer. What was up with the huddle after every Man United goal? I haven't got a fucking clue, mate. Maybe they all had to tell Harry Maguire how great he was. I don't know. Craig, I agree with you. I want to win this game so much, said Kane. Norwich said Yasso with regards to who's an entertaining side to watch. LFC 8092 said, yep, Spurs are more of a possession team than an all-out attacking team. Again, I wasn't trying to belittle Spurs. Spurs are a very good side, and I fully expect them to be the closest to Manchester City and Liverpool this season with regards to the best of the rest, if not even fighting them all the way. I just don't find them particularly attractive to watch, but they're effective, very effective. I thought Brighton were good on Saturday against Watford. I didn't catch it, Stephen. I know that we could have a new look Brighton there under Potter. I didn't get to watch the game, but they got a fantastic result, 3-0 away at Watford. That's a pretty impressive performance. Ted Hutton said, I made a £10 bet with my Chelsea friend that we win on Wednesday. Nice one, mate. How are you going to spend your tenner? And treat yourself to a takeaway or something nice? Curtis Dalton said, if we beat Chelsea 3 or 4 goals to nil, there'd be a massive amount of pressure on Frank considering he lost 4-0 on Sunday. Yep, bring on the pressure. I mean, welcome to Premier League management, Curtis. Do you know what I mean? For El Frankie Lampard. I wonder how much goodwill is in the bank there for Frank with the fans. We know that he hasn't been able to really utilise the transfer market. I wonder how long the good grace will last. Do I hate Roy Hodgson? Yes, I fucking despise Roy Hodgson. Fucking owl emu looking motherfucker. Don't like him one bit. He lost me as soon as he said that the draw against Everton was a good result. Really, Roy? Fuck off. Nah, Hodgson can do one. No time for Roy Hodgson whatsoever. Who do I like, or who would I take over the captaincy when Hendo leaves? I don't even want to think about it yet, mate, because Jordan Henderson is Liverpool captain and he will be captain the entire time he's here. Now, if you wanted to push me for the future, Trent is a good look for Liverpool captain. Obviously you'd look at Van Dijk as a potential leader in the dressing room as well. Well, he is a leader as a potential captain. But yeah, Trent, long term, Scouser, 20 years of age, live and breathe for the club, grew up right around the local area, very close to the training ground. Yeah, Trent, but Van Dijk probably, and then Trent. Jenna Wilson said, United are the most entertaining for me. Pissed myself a few times watching those clowns. Oh, Jenna, I like your comments. Keep them coming. I like that little bit of bitterness. Keep it going. More of that, please. Everton are entertaining. They make me laugh every year, said Malcolm Fielding. Heskey was underrated because he was a creative striker, said Tom Jones. Yeah, look, as I said, some people, sometimes are a bit dismissive of Heskey. Heskey was a damn fine footballer. What do we think of Everton? I don't really think much about them at all, Press, to be quite honest, mate. Yeah, I don't really think about them at all. I think Silva, he's under a bit of pressure this year at Everton. I think he has to start delivering. And they have a decent enough squad, Everton, don't get me wrong, but are they strong enough to compete for a European place? I guess only time will tell. I'd say no. Happily Egg said, Chelsea fans, some of them were chanting Lampard out after the loss. From my side, can't say I heard that, but I can't say it didn't happen either, but I'd be very surprised. I mean, honestly, after one game, I'd be very surprised if they were shouting Lampard out after a single game. Billsy said 3-1 to Liverpool. I like it, mate. I like your honesty. What else we got? You're losing so much weight, said Dara. Thank you. I have lost quite a bit, not going to lie. I think at the moment I'm at about £18, something along those lines. Maybe £19 weight loss. Thank you. I'm glad you noticed. Still a good bit to go, but you know what? I'm on the right direction. I'm on the right road. That's all I can do. Thank goodness I can drink my Diet Coke, don't you know what I mean? I know, by the way, people's aspartame. I know people don't like it. And I know people are going to say that to me. And I know people are going to say, Craig, fizzy drinks aren't good for you. I get you. But it's one of my few vices that I have in life. So, God bless it. God bless no calories in that Diet Coke. Don't forget the Heskey DJ goal celebration. Couldn't possibly. Craig, it was reported on Match of the Day. As I said, I didn't see it, mate, but if it was on Match of the Day, as you said, then that's quite fucking shocking from them. Yeah, it's quite shocking. Quite shocking from them indeed, if they were saying that. Brian Morris, he said, just taking a moment to feel that Fabio Aurelio never got to show his ability for Liverpool. Unbelievable footballer ruined by injuries. I agree. I second what you said there, Brian. Fabio Aurelio had the potential to be an absolutely amazing left back at this club. Injuries did ruin his career. Unbelievable set piece taker as well. But yeah, it's a good shout, that. Gerrard's football career was nearly over when he was 7. Got hit by a garden fork, stuck in his big toe while he was trying to get the ball out of stinging nettles. I didn't know that, Callum. Or maybe I've forgotten that, because I've read a couple of his books, so I probably did read that, but just forgot about it. But we've all been there, to some extent, haven't we? Getting the fuck stung out of us by nettles trying to get a ball out, or getting under a car to try and kick a football out. Or you had that moody old mate that wasn't happy he was losing and fucked off with the football as well, because you knew that it was his ball, it was his game, basically. But yeah, we've all been there. We've all got stung by nettles and got those horrible little bumps. What was it? Were you supposed to rub a dock leaf or something on it, was it? Am I right about that? Any English or Irish based people that remember this? Was it a dock leaf you were supposed to rub if you got stung by a nettle? I don't comment much, but I want you to know I'm always watching. That scares me, Kyle. I'm only joking, mate. Thank you. I appreciate you jumping in and letting us know. And I hope everybody does enjoy the streams. I mean, the channel's growing really well, but as I keep saying, it is because of you guys. And I know I thank you a lot, but I'm going to keep thanking you, because without you guys, this channel wouldn't exist. And I've no talent. It's only your comments and your insight that keeps this show on the road and this blag running, as I like to say. So yes, thank you so much for all your love and support. With all the signings, what do teams think will reach the Champions League final this year besides Liverpool? It's a really tough one, and I said the same last year. You can make an argument for Juventus. Somebody pointed out to me yesterday as well, not to forget Atleti. Liverpool. City can go far, of course they can. I mean, you know, we all have mock and say probably go out in the quarterfinals, as always. But City can do well, of course. You can never rule out either of the top 2 Spanish sides. After that, I'd probably draw a line there. Bayern, I don't know if they'll be strong enough to go all the way in the competition. Ziyech, by the way, signed a new deal with Ajax. I'm not sure if people have seen that. He signed an improved contract at the club. Yeah, I would probably say those. Liverpool. Spurs, of course. Spurs can go deep in the competition again. They've got good experience from last year. City, Atleti, Juventus, Real, Barcelona. After that, I don't really see anyone else. But, you know, Ajax shocked everybody last year, going all the way to the semis. It is a dock leaf. There you go. I was wondering, was that just my childhood? But yeah, rubbing an old dock leaf on it. They're also good for wiping your backside if you're caught short. The old dock leaves. I'm sure we've all been there as well, out and about. Good to see so many people have used dock leaves as well, getting stung by nettles. It wasn't just my imagination. I'm a United fan. I subscribe because you're a great YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Is it Kai or Cal? I can't see on the screen, mate, but thank you. Really appreciate that. Dock leaves as well. Loads of people showing love to dock leaves. City versus Barcelona Champions League final if we don't get knocked out by Liverpool or Spurs. I press Salah. Barca are defo an interesting one. I don't know. I think there's a lot going on at Barcelona that's kind of destabilising at the minute. But when you have Lionel Messi in your team, anything really is possible. Doesn't look like they're going to get Neymar. He's again linked to Real Madrid. I didn't include PSG in my list of teams there, by the way, because I don't think they will ever win the Champions League no matter what they do, because they just don't get enough competitive games. And by that I mean they're not kept match sharp, basically, because they can stroll through a lot of games in the French league. I'm surprised nobody went for Ziyech in the window top player. So am I. And what was it, 25-30 million seemed to be the figure that he was available for. Like you, Tom, mate, I'm shocked nobody went from. And Brian Morrissey, a piece of advice for everybody, and thankfully it's never happened, but Brian said, don't wipe your arse with nettles, whatever you do. Jesus, no, don't wipe your arse with nettles. Liz said, does anyone have any ideas on what to do with a torn back muscle and sprained neck? The meds are awful. I don't want to say anything there, Liz. I would always say speak to a professional in that sense, mate. Your neck and your back. Why does the rest of me want to go on, with that song? My neck, my back. I'm not going to sing it. But yeah, I would say consult a professional, Liz. I'm definitely not somebody who's going to be giving advice on neck and back issues. Except for maybe a bit of heat. Other than that, I have a bath. A nice warm bath. Other than that, I can't suggest anything because I don't want to make it worse. Boya said PSG are not tested enough, and that's exactly where I'm coming from. They can just coast their way through games, and I find that when they go into the Champions League then and they come up against teams who are, fighting week in, week out, like in the Premier League or La Liga or whatever, it leaves them a little bit short at times. Again, our good friend Leicester City FC Boya Anthony, if you're a fan of football content, and I know a lot of people tonight have come into our channel and said they're a United fan or they're an Arsenal fan, but they enjoy what we do, please do go over and check out Anthony's account as well, LCFC Boya. Really good football YouTuber, Leicester City fan obviously as well, and one of life's good guys, so please do go over and subscribe to Anthony's channel. Callum said, sorry Craig, one more thing about Gerrard. He was rejected for another academy, then Liverpool, and after Manchester United offered him a contract, he said no. 2 weeks later, Liverpool gave him a contract. Nice. And the rest, as they say, my friend, is history. Raiola are trying hard to buy the best players. They're not building a team, just different players with different personalities. Yeah, they're going for that Galactico mentality. It's funny because they came out, Florentino Perez, I think it was last summer, came out and said that Real have changed the way that they're doing things and they're looking to go and sign up the best young players in the world. And that didn't last pissing time. It failed miserably. They brought back Zinedine Zidane and now they're looking to do what they've always done and try and go out there and buy up the big name players in the world. But these days, it's the young hungry players that are making an impact in world football. And it's good to see the clubs are starting to cop onto this fact a little bit now. And you look at United going out there and getting Daniel James. You look at Liverpool going out and getting Harvey Elliott, Sepp Vandenberg, Keanu Hoover, Ryan Brewster coming through, Greenwood coming through at United. Clubs are starting to realise that there is talent to be had, and sometimes that desire and hunger can bring a lot to a team. You do need the right mix. You do need some world-class talent in there as well. But I think having that mix is really important, and I think that's something that Jurgen Klopp has done very well. And again, it's something that Guardiola deserves massive credit for at Manchester City, managing a really good group of players like that as well. Thoughts on pigs in a blanket? I'd rather a sausage roll, Shankly Spear, if I'm being honest, but I wouldn't turn my nose up at pigs in a blanket. Anything meat and pastry related is good with me. And I do like it in the Yorkshire pudding as well. God, you're going to have me starving. Talking about losing weight and you're throwing pigs and blankets at me. You're not mad on the bacon aspect of it though. I'd rather a sausage roll, as I said, than a sausage wrapped in bacon. Subi said, Craig, I can smell an Mbappe or a Sancho next season. So can I, Subi. What else have we got? What do you think is the best, or who do I think is the best young player at Liverpool? Said JJT man. I suppose it depends where we're drawing the line at young player. I mean, Trent is the answer. He's 20 years of age, but Brewster, of course, another really good up-and-coming young player. Keanu Hoover is going to make a big impact at the club. Very early in Sepp Vandenberg, but definitely one to keep an eye on. Laruccio was really impressed with in pre-season. Came out of nowhere for me, that kid. I was expecting to see Adam Lewis, but Larucci, yeah, he came in and did really well. So we are blessed, mate. We've got some really good young footballers at the club, and we can't undervalue the business that the club have done attracting those young players. Press Salah said, I think Harvey Elliott should, verse a top team like Solskjaer did with Dan James. Should play against a top team. Yeah, he was brought on though at the right time, and it is about bringing kids like that on. And Daniel James, to be fair to him, when he came on, he looked full of confidence. I know it was an emotional time for him and his family. And it was lovely to see all the players celebrate with him the way they did when he scored. Whatever I think about Manchester United, my hatred for that club, from a human perspective, that was a lovely moment for the young man, and one that I'm sure he'll remember for the rest of his life. Will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer get sacked this season? I don't think he'll be there next season, but whether they let him see out the season or not, I suppose depends on if looks like he's going to make the Champions League. Yeah, I think ideally for clubs, changing a manager at the end of a season is better than midway through a season or towards the end of a season, particularly for bigger clubs. So whether he gets sacked or not during the season, I don't know, but I would say no to him being there next year. But I really don't rate him as a manager. I'm still shocked he got that job. I really, really am. For me, if I'm a United fan, putting aside if Steven Gerrard was to become Liverpool manager tomorrow, I would say he's not ready. I would absolutely say, I would hope that he comes in and proves us wrong, but I would say he's not ready at this moment in time. Solskjaer's managerial career isn't exactly, sterling. He's managed Molde. He was relegated with Cardiff. And now he's in managing Manchester United, who, whether we want to say it or not, is one of the biggest clubs in the world. And just because he was a fan's favourite there won't necessarily make him a good manager. And what I seen last season, particularly in the Champions League, at times I thought he looked tactically naive. I don't see him lasting long term. And it's not bitterness towards United. For me, no. I don't know if he will be there next season or not. He'll be sacked this season, said Aneo. What else we got? Totally getting sacked, said Brian Morrissey, not even sitting on the fence there. I'm trying to be a bit diplomatic in my answers. Ollie will make the Champions League. He's definitely in with a shout. I think after Liverpool, Manchester City and Spurs, that last spot is open, and it'll be between probably United and Arsenal, unless Chelsea pull their socks up and get their shit together, but probably between those two teams. Now, what I will say is, when it comes time to playing in the Europa League, and United are playing Thursday, Sunday, and Arsenal are playing Thursday, Sunday, that will impact their league form. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on as well as the season goes on. Dara said, looks like Pacquiao will fight Danny Garcia. Your prediction, Pacquiao. I don't think I know Pacquiao's getting on in age, but Danny Garcia, I don't think, he's not the same fighter that he was when he beat Amir Khan. And isn't Garcia coming off a big enough loss recently? If my memory serves me correct, Dara. Again, we should probably talk a little bit about AJ and that fight being in Saudi Arabia. Press conference was today. They're building something between a 12 and 15,000 seater venue outside for that one. Anybody who from the UK who's looking to go and purchase tickets for that fight, apparently when you buy a ticket for the fight, it will also include your visa to get to Saudi Arabia for 30 days. From a point of view of us watching the fight, time wise it'll be quite good. I think ring walk will be about 9:30 for that fight in December, and it's intriguing, and part of me wonders if it's an unnecessary risk for Anthony Joshua to have that fight in Saudi Arabia and not in Cardiff. Again, when I say in Saudi Arabia, I'm not in any way being disrespectful to Saudi Arabia as a venue. I just mean if I'm talking about AJ and I'm steering AJ's career, I'm probably trying to play safe here and have this fight in Cardiff. But Saudi Arabia looks like a wonderful place to have a fight. So let's see how it goes. It's a big risk for AJ, but big risk, big reward. And if he gets his titles back, then it's on to massive fights against Usyk, against Wilder, against Fury, and maybe Dillian White as well. Craig, Gordon Ramsay called me and told me that he wants you to volunteer in a Top Chef contest. Does he like beans on toast? How is he on eating Kyo's crisps? Yeah, me and Gordon Ramsay shouting at each other. That'd be fun. Now that I do for the laugh. Have an argument with Gordon Ramsay. I actually like Gordon Ramsay, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think I actually like him. I watch him when he does stuff. I also like Marco Pierre White as well. I'm so glad Chelsea don't have Hazard to press Salah. There's no sugarcoating that. It does weaken them. Really, it does. I think long term for Chelsea though, moving Hazard on and starting to get rid of that player power out of the dressing room will be helpful, but he is a big loss to them. Hazard always performed amazingly against us, so it's a big plus, said at FC 1892. Harry Williams said, hate to say it, but beating Chelsea will give us a huge, or give United a huge boost going into the season. Yeah, but it's only one game, mate, and I mean, I'm just going to concentrate on Liverpool, to be honest, mate, this season, and whatever happens with United will happen with United, and we'll see that unfold as it may, but I'm just excited to see what happens for the Reds this season, the Liverpool Reds, obviously, and I think we're in for one hell of a ride again this season. Billsy said, Ollie will get it right this season if Pogba stays. Yeah, I mean, Pogba, I don't think has shown anywhere near his best at United yet. Watching him sometimes, if I'm a United fan, it frustrates the shit out of me that he takes too much out of the ball. It's like watching him sometimes, and I'm not going to deny Pogba's talent. I mean, Pogba in full flow, running at defenders is a nightmare. But surely even the most hardened United fan must think at times that he takes too much out of the ball. It's like he wants to show his upper body strength so much that he does that thing where he steps in front of the ball and blocks off the player and forgets about the pass that's on. He just wants to show how strong he is. That drives me fucking mad. If I'm watching him and I'm a United fan, that would drive me demented. I mean, just play the pass. That's the one thing in his game, apart from the sulking, that would drive me absolutely demented if I was a United fan. LFC 1892 said it's going to be a big loss for Frank Warren if Billy Joe Saunders goes to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. Apparently it could be announced tomorrow. I had heard that he'd left Frank Warren, but I didn't hear that he'd definitely gone over to Matchroom. Now I know obviously Hughie Fury signed up Matchroom, but yeah, it would be a major loss. But it might benefit us as boxing fans because we might get to see Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders fight, which would be a very interesting fight and one I'd actually love to go over and attend if that takes place. I love a little bit of boxing chat to end streams. It's nice. I really should do a boxing show at some point, or at least maybe just pester IFL TV to come on and let me do a little piece every now and again. Come on, Coogan, if you're watching me. You're probably not, but I'm here. Hit me up. Craig, Coogan, the dream team. I just want to thank you for answering my questions about boxing, mate. You don't need to thank me. You know I love talking about boxing, Dara. Maybe someday we'll go to... you're in New York, Dara, if memory serves me correct. Maybe someday we can go to MSG, mate, and go to a fight together. Wouldn't that be lovely? I mean, it'd be a pleasure to visit that historic venue to see a fight. And again, I want to go to Vegas as well to see a fight at some point. Was Pulisic the player we were interested in a couple of years ago? He was the one that I was shiting on about we should sign. I'm not sure if the club held much of an interest, but I definitely was banging that drum for quite a while. Pogba's talented but spends too much time standing around the halfway line with his hands on his hips looking hard done by. I like that. Pogba will be somewhere during the season, throw his toys out of the pram, said Jan. I predicted a 3-1 win too. My team is Adrian, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Keita, Mane, Salah and Firmino, said Doug. Craig, I could do a show about boxing, said Stephen Richards. Right, LFC 892 says Eddie Hearn's announcing a big signing tomorrow, so people are putting 2 and 2 together. The Zone and Matchroom have the super middleweight and middleweight division sewn up, so it will be a class move. Yeah, and as I said, if it gets us closer to a Billy Joe Saunders Callum Smith fight, then I'm all for it. I mean, I'd love to see Mundo fight Canelo, but it looks like maybe Canelo's going to go all the way up and fight Kovalev if Kovalev beats Yard, so that'll be interesting to watch. Thanks for answering my questions. Hopefully we can go on more success this season. Harvey, never any need to thank me, mate. Thank you for coming in and putting your comments in, and for subscribing and watching the channel, mate. Really appreciate it. Trent is a defensive winger like Roberto Carlos. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is like trying to pass through a brick wall. Okay. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a good defender, but he's not at the calibre of Trent Alexander-Arnold yet. But okay. Right, ladies and gents, I think we'll call it a night, if that's okay. Again, if you've enjoyed tonight's stream and if you're interested in Football Index, please do use the sign up link below. And if you're signing up, use the code AA when prompted. Anfield Agenda, simply just AA. And that'll get you that 10% bonus that we spoke about on purchases in your first month. And also, it will help you have that £1,000 cover of losses in the first month as well, or euro. Again, all information is available on the site, so do check that out as well. And of course, be gamble aware when gaming. Right. Anything else before we head off? What happened to the 1150 streams? They never existed, Press? 1150? Yeah. No, don't think they existed, mate. We used to do streams at 10:45. Then we pushed them back to 9:30 because people wanted them a few minutes earlier on. But yeah, look, even at 9:30, mate, it's been an hour and 45 minutes now, which is a lot to go through for someone to be constantly talking. So apologies, I can't go any longer. I need to save my voice a little bit as well. And I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. But tomorrow, Fantasy Premier League show will be back tomorrow night. Myself, Brian and Billy. Hope you can join us for that at 9 o'clock. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for your support of the channel. If you have any questions on Football Index or anything, please feel free to email us, anfieldagenda@outlook.com, and we'll try our best to sort that out for you. As always, thank you for your love and support. Have a wonderful night, and up the motherfucking Reds.